guys, we are back. Thank you so much for stopping in and hanging out with me today for just a little while talking about some movies. I am excited to talk to you guys about this because this will be the first time I've ever seen this film, yet it holds a special place in my heart, even though this was the first time I've seen it and it is 24 years old. Guys, I'm talking about a movie from 2001 directed by Mr. Dennie Gordon. This is called Joe Dirt. Now, guys, this is my first time ever seeing this, okay? Before we get started, before I get into my anecdotal, diatribes, hit that like and subscribe button. So let's talk about Joe Dirt. Back in 2001 when this came out, I hadn't seen it. My mom was a big Blockbuster Video, Hollywood Video rental chick. Every Tuesday she was there. She wasn't big on seeing comedy. She was into Rob De Niro, Al Pacino kind of crime movies. She liked sci-fi action. She wasn't even really big into horror, that was more my aunt's thing. But she rented this Joe Dirt movie. Now, I wasn't there when she watched it, but after she watched Joe Dirt, she found it hilarious, and she started calling my dad Joe Dirt because, I'm sorry for the camera shake, my dog laid down on the floor. By the way, if you hear any weird snoring or grunting or whining or anything, guys, that is my pug or my shepherd or my beagle. One of the three are snoring, scratching, something. So if you hear weird audio, that's what that is. It's not me breaking wind. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's get back to Joe Dirt. So my mom started calling my dad Joe Dirt, right? I didn't know what she was talking about because I'd never seen it. I didn't really have a desire to see Joe Dirt. But my dad was a big old, he was a redneck, man. He had the mullet. He had the Daisy Duke shorts for dudes. He was Joe Dirt. After I watched this movie, my dad was Joe Dirt. And so I watched this, man, and I wished I would have really kind of watched it back then. I wished I would have watched it with my mom, if I'm being honest, because that would have been awesome because, again, like I said, she wasn't really big into comedies. So for her to like a comedy as much as she liked Joe Dirt, the only other comedy I know of that my mom ever really quoted and really liked was The Nutty Professor. And she liked that Hercules thing. She used to do that all the time when we'd be kids trying to do something. She'd be like, Hercules. So, so for her to like something like that was really something special. So I wish I'd have gotten to see it with her. But watching it now, I see why she thought it was so funny. And I thought it was funny. I didn't think it was as funny as everybody makes it out to be, but that's probably because I'm jaded. I've seen too many movies, and I'm older now. If I would have seen it in 2001 when I was, 18, 19, it would have been one of those, canon films like Step Brothers or Talladega Nights, something like that. But I saw it now, and I still loved the comedy because we got Dennis Miller. We got, Kid Rock is the, antagonist. He's ridiculous in this. We got Fred Ward. He plays Joe Dirt's dad. Dennis Miller is like this shock jock, Howard Stern kind of guy who, he's looking for ratings boost, and Joe is the janitor. And he just look at this redneck piece of trash, this hillbilly trailer park son of a gun. And so he brings him in and he starts telling him about his life. And it just, garners all this attention from the listeners and stuff like that. So he becomes kind of a regular. And we have this eclectic cast of characters. And some people that I didn't even think could be funny. Like Christopher Walken, I say I didn't think he could be funny. I know Christopher Walken can be funny, but he doesn't typically play funny. You know what I mean? He can be funny, but he doesn't typically play funny. Same with Fred Ward. I don't think Fred Ward is all that funny, but he played a really good kind of redneck piece of trash dad in this. I really dug the story here and the fact that they weren't scared to, I don't want to say push back. For nowadays, it would be pushing boundaries, but not necessarily pushing boundaries, but they weren't afraid to say what they wanted to say in the script and be damned what the producer said. I mean, there are jokes in there that I'm just like, how did that get in there? But it works and it's funny and I dug it. He thinks it's a meteorite and it's a big chunk of frozen doo-doo and he eats French fries off of it. That's disgusting, but it's hilarious because he doesn't know what it is. And it's even funnier because we don't find out what it is until later in the movie, and they're like, dude, you ate off that in the radio stuff. It's hilarious, man. It is a really solid comedy with a great cast. David Spade is wonderful. I'm really looking forward to his new movie with Theo Von, Bus Boys or whatever it is, because I like Theo Von. I think he's hilarious, you know. And David Spade has always delivered, whether it be Tommy Boy with Chris Farley, you know, whatever it is, David Spade has always been a solid comedian, a solid comedic actor. And I think that this film shows that he can stand by himself. He doesn't have to have Chris Farley or some Paul Rudd or anybody like that with him to carry a film. And I loved it. I thought it was great. I wished I would have seen it sooner so I could love it longer. That's all I'm going to say, guys. If you haven't seen Joe Dirt, you can check it out on Tubi or you can check it out on Prime. I'm giving it 2 big thumbs up. Holler at me if you want to. Chastise me, ostracize me for not seeing it sooner, because I know some of you would be like, how has this guy not seen Joe Dirt? I haven't, but now I have, and now you know what I think about it, guys. So thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way out, and I'm going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Peace out, my friends. God bless you, and I will see you soon.